Well, hi everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to Zooming in the Jungle Room. I'm extremely lucky today because I'm going to be talking to two people from an it's an incredible play, musical if you like, coming to Adelaide very soon. I've never seen it before, so I'm so excited to find out all about it. I'm speaking, of course, to Ben Stefanoff and Liam Phillips with an incredible show, like I said, Urinetown. Ben, Liam, how are you both today?
Not
Good,
too
thank
bad.
you.
Yeah, it's a lovely sunny day in Adelaide, so you can't really complain with that.
It is. And I was just saying to you off air before, I just got back in from Bali last night. And as I was coming back to Adelaide, I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be so cold. But look at it. Today is lovely. I'm excited.
It's stunning.
But
It's beautiful.
you know what?
I,
Enough about the weather. Let's talk about sports. I'm kidding. Let's talk about cars. Oh, look at Loki. So please, I've never seen it before. I have heard about it, but what is Urinetown all about? Is it as obvious as what the title may mean or say?
Do you want to answer that one, Liam?
Sure. I think it's more obvious than you think it will be. It's a show that's very literal. It plays into some sort of metaphor and figurative language, but it can also be very direct at times. So if you're thinking about what the title means, you're probably not far off in a way.
Okay, so there's lots of we.
Oh, we
Yeah.
jokes everywhere. Yeah, wherever you look, there's a
Well,
joke.
It's
And
time. Sorry, go
what's
on.
brilliant about the show as well is it's not serious at all. Don't come expecting a serious, deep thinking piece of theatre. It's very far from that. What we're loving as a cast and creative team throughout the rehearsal process is discovering all of the things it's actually paying out along the way. So it pays out political hierarchy, it pays out musical theatre itself. There are so many parodies of musical theatre hidden
mm,
amongst the script and the songs. But yeah, like nothing is off limits with this show. So if it's about toilet humor, it sets the bar, at just the right level.
So we must explain to everyone, Ben, with your lovely wife, Kristen, you guys are the musical directors for the play, for the musical. And
Yeah.
Liam, you're actually in the show as Bobby Strong. Um,
yes.
let's start with Ben. Ben, why did you want to come on board as the musical director for the show?
Oh, it's two different reasons. One was actually meant to be my brother who was music directing it, but in typical my brother fashion, he's off overseas at the moment working professionally. So Kristen and I went, oh, actually, there's a lot of juicy moments to it that really spark our creative interest. So Kristen came in and has been working with the cast on the vocal teaching and shaping this incredible sonic soundscape from the cast. They are just exceptional to hear. And then I'm kind of now just starting to step in as we're starting to run the show, and then I'll be working with the band and putting it all together for that final moment on stage. But the score is what won me over it. Very simple score. It's only a five-piece band, which a lot of people are quite surprised about. So it's piano, myself on piano, drums, bass, a multi-reed player, and a trombone and euphonium player. So it's very stripped back score, but the sound and the way the show's written, it's just absolutely exquisite to listen to.
Now, it is the Hills Musical Company behind the show. And we were just saying, Kristen is actually multi-talented. Quite often we find her actually on stage as well, performing. Was it hard for Kristen this time around to be more behind the scenes, part of the crew?
Yes and no. Kristen and I have worked together in similar partnership off stage. I mean, on stage. Off stage, we're married, but on stage, that side of things. So a few years ago, I directed Heather's the musical, and Kristen music directed that. And then later this year in November, Kristen's music directing Jekyll and Hyde for Hills, and I'm directing that. So we tend to, when she doesn't want to be on stage or audition for a show, we tend to partner up in that sort of creative team sort of aspect. Yeah.
You two are just a creative dynamo. The power couple. You guys are the power couple of Adelaide. I'm going to call it. There we go. Now, Liam, your role is Bobby Strong. Like I said, I've got no idea about the show, so I don't even know what Bobby Strong does in the show. But can you tell us about the role?
Yeah, so Bobby Strong is one of the lead protagonists in the show. He is on the poorer side of society in Urinetown. You've got the poor and the rich. It's very black and white in that regard. And there's a very clear line that defines them. He kind of starts off as someone who's, I guess, a victim of circumstance. He's poor, so he's inherently I guess, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? He's got the short end of the stick. He's lucky enough to meet a young girl early on in the show who is immediately enamored by. She inspires him to follow his heart, and so he chooses to, maybe not in the way that she meant, but he tries to sort of take matters into his own hands, and then things start to spiral out of control from that moment on. So he's definitely very present throughout this show as well.
And how long have you personally been involved with the Hills Musical Company?
Since the start of this rehearsal period. I've been wanting to work with the Hills for a number of years now. I've been seeing their shows for a few years and haven't ever had a bad experience in doing so. And I've definitely wanted to be up there on the stage, but this is the first opportunity that I've actually had. I've had a very busy sort of schedule up until now, so it's great that it's finally aligned, and with such a fantastic show as Urinetown as well, one that really sort of, you know, has you rolling on the floor laughing throughout the whole thing.
Tell us more about the cast. First of all, have you enjoyed working with them so far during rehearsals, etc.? But tell us about the cast. Who else is in the show?
Oh, they're terrible. They're absolutely horrible. No, joking. No. The cast have been exceptional to work with. They are very hardworking. And being such a large cast, we have had the occasional problem where availability of everyone has been a bit tricky, but that's why we have rehearsal schedules. But Hills did Urinetown quite a number of years ago, and we were very lucky to have the incredible Andrew Crisp play the role of Officer Lockstock back then, and he's reprising the role for us this time around. Crispy is he is like the flagship of Adelaide Theatre. He's just exceptional to work with, and he pops up everywhere, and we're very lucky that we were able to get him in his busy schedule. Who else is in the cast? Megan Davidson, who I've worked with on many shows, plays Bobby's love interest, Hope. The wonderful Josh Barclay's in the show. Oh, the list is just endless. The wonderful Sarah Hamilton is playing one of the villains, or is she a villain, or what is she? You'll have to find out what sort of role her character turns out to be. So it's just this incredible cast of local South Australian performers that we being the production team, so Ruby Pinkerton, our director, and Gemma Allen, who is choreographing it. We were so blessed when it got to the audition process, and we just had all of these people come in and audition and make our job as a production team very hard, because the talent level was just exceptional.
I'm going to put it out there. I mean, look, the Hills are world class in regards to the theatre that they put out to, you know, the community and to Adelaide, South Australia, if you like. I've seen many, many performances over the course of the last good few years. One that really stood out for me just recently, which was, I think, about 2 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Just amazing. That blew my mind. The talent on stage, the production, the set, everything was just, it's like literally, like I said, Hills produce world-class theatre. Something to be really proud of. Because Ben's been involved with them for a while now. What is it about that company that you enjoy being a part of?
Oh, I think it's the fact that you very quickly become part of the Hills family. So they have a very hardworking committee, which Liam and I may have accidentally joined a few weeks ago. So they have a very hardworking committee who behind the scenes doing all the background work. And they just create this safe, caring environment, and they really listen to feedback from the cast and the production team. So if we've got concerns or things didn't quite work in a rehearsal process, they take that on board and then they adapt and change that for the next production team that comes in. So if there's an issue, it gets resolved really quickly, and it just is a fun place to put on shows, you know, because in a sense we're doing this out of love. We're not doing it for profit or anything like that. We just do it out of love, and you've got to have that safe environment to be able to do that.
So Liam, anyone else like you that, you know, is wanting to get up on stage, what's the best advice you could possibly give them to be involved with someone like the Hills Musical Company, for example?
Yeah, I mean, just have a crack. I've only been doing theatre on stage since 2021, and it's something that I have always loved. I've always loved musical theatre. I used to play in pit orchestras back in 2013 on trumpet, and then it got to a point where I was just wanting to, you know, have a proper crack at it on stage as well. So I did, and I managed to get into a show a few years back with another company, and then it kind of just spiraled out of control. So I think my best advice is just give it a go, because you never know. Have a look at all the different shows that are on offer, because we're very lucky in Adelaide with the theatre community that we do have as well. But Hills is a wonderful place to start doing theatre as well. And I can vouch for what Ben said about the environment that they create. It's very supportive. It's a safe place to take risks as well in many different ways in what you do on stage. And yeah, I feel very supported at Hills as well. And like Ben said, very quickly found myself on the committee as well, after only being part of the Hills family for maybe like 2 months or so. So obviously, you know, it's a very positive environment to be a part of.
Adelaide is just full of incredible talent. You know, I don't think it's even a secret anymore. You know, it's time for us to start shouting it out. But, you know, we've got so much talent here. And that's why whenever I know there's something coming along for the Hills community, for the Hills Musical Company, I'm the first one to be there. I just thoroughly enjoy the theatre that you guys put out. Now, what we haven't said yet is it's actually playing at the Stirling Community Theatre, which is obviously up in the hills, thus the name of it all. And it is running from May the 10th to the 25th. So it's not far away, guys. So my next question is, Ben, the fact that May 10 is looming pretty quickly, how are rehearsals going?
We are in an incredible spot. We're 2 and a bit weeks out now from opening, and we're up to running the show in its entirety. So we've done a very intensive rehearsal process. They've done lots of polishing and tidying. So now we're just at that final stage where we're running the show. This week I start working with the band, which is just like the next level. And then on Sunday of this week, the cast and the band get together for the first time, and they do the big Sits Probe rehearsal, where that's when it really starts to feel real, because the band's there, the set's in, the lighting comes in, costumes are coming in, all of these departments that have been working tirelessly for months. You just see it all starting to shape together, and yeah, May 10, not far away, but we're in a good place.
Hey, also, I'm gonna comment on this because I thought this production was quite incredible. And again, it's just to highlight how good this theatre company is. But the last show I saw from you guys and girls was Carrie the musical. Outstanding. Again, somehow another musical that I've never actually experienced. I'd seen the movie, of course, with Cece Spacek, but I'd never actually seen the musical. Just brilliant. You know, I mean, like I said, the production quality and what goes into your shows are just world class. Did you enjoy being part of the Carrie experience?
Carrie's been a quiet obsession of mine for quite a number of years. So Hills came to me and said, look, is there a show you'd like us to produce? Put it forward. So I put together a proposal for Carrie, and they jumped on it. And it was just incredible to get this story that like the show originally flopped hugely on Broadway, but they rewrote it, reworked it, and it has a really good message of hope and looking within and not judging people, which is something that I'm a huge advocate for, of, you know, just treat people for who they are and put love in the world, don't put hate in the world. So yeah, it was just an incredible experience to put that on. And that's something else that's amazing about the Hills is they're willing to give shows that are a little bit underrated stage time. So we can't say what they're looking at, but I know the two shows Hills are looking at for 2025 fit that sort of demographic of giving things a bit of a go and not necessarily your mainstream theatre, which, you know, give it a go. Come have a shot and see what's happening.
It's so funny. That actually leads into my next question. Now, obviously, you can't mention what those shows are, but my next question was going to be for you, Ben. If you had the opportunity to produce any show, be a part of any show, what is a musical that you'd really love to bring into, you know, the Stirling Community Theatre? Again, I understand you can't say the two that are about to happen, but maybe what's another one?
Oh, that's like asking who's a parent who their favorite child is, which for me is easy because I've only got one. But in terms of shows, it really depends if I'm looking at whether I want to music direct something or whether I want to direct something, because I try and get different things out of different aspects. But one show that I really like and I would love to see come back to Adelaide is Wicked. There's something magical about that score that I love, but also the story of the friendship between Glinda and Elphaba is just a treasure trove for a director to unpack over time. So yeah, probably Wicked. But yeah, the list is endless of shows that I love. Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It's hard to have a favorite. Now, Liam, your question, of course, is you are knee deep, head deep, neck deep, however we call it. You're full deep committed into this show in Urinetown, of course. But once this is over, is there a show that you would absolutely love to be a part of? Is there a musical that resonates with you?
Oh, again, tough question. I do like what Ben said about Wicked, but for myself, I mean, there's just so many. I would love to see, you know, Wright, Swilling and whatnot. You know, a local version of Hadestown or something. But I know that that's not something that's available currently. But the music is gorgeous. I absolutely love hearing folk music in a musical theatre context. So I'd love to see something that's got that sort of level of musical character and beauty on the stage.
Nice. Now, guys, to wrap up, I want each of you to tell me why people should come out and experience Urinetown at the Stirling Community Theatre. Wrap it up for us.
I think coming into winter where it's cold and you can start to go a little bit within yourself and get a bit gloomy when the weather's starting to change, Urinetown will just be this joyous celebration of we. You know, not just we, but it's a joyous celebration of just life. If you don't find something funny in the show, check your pulse. It's hilarious. It will leave you feeling good. The choreography is so energetic. It just revitalizes you. Ruby's blocking is absolutely stunning in what she's done on stage. And the cast are just exceptional. Like, there's nothing you can't like about this show. It's just so much fun.
And Liam?
Yeah, it's a brilliant show. The wonderful thing about community theatre is that it's also super affordable. So if you're just looking for something to do, you want to try something a bit out of your comfort zone or something maybe that you wouldn't normally do every night, then a great idea would be to get a group of friends together, it could be family, and come out and see a fantastic show. It's going to sell, so get in quick, but I promise you'll have an amazing time.
Ben Stefanoff, Liam Phillips, thank you so much for chatting. As always, I just have a great time talking about arts and entertainment in Adelaide. It's just an absolute thrill to be able to promote how great our talent is here. So it's been a joy talking to you both. Urinetown is playing from May the 10th to the 25th at Stirling Community Theatre, brought to us by Hills Musical Company. Boys, I wish you all the best for an incredible season. I cannot wait to be there. If you allow me, I would love to do a review, and I'll see you both soon.
Wonderful. Yep, tickets are on my way.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Enjoy rehearsals. Back to it.
Thank you.